Have you ever wondered why some people's Instagram accounts are better than yours? In today's video, we're going to explore why this is and how this relates to your career, and of course, what you can do to have a better career than you ever imagined. Let's go. So hello, my name is Anthony, your professionally qualified careers advisor helping you to make intelligent career decisions. Now, there are two reasons why other people's Instagram accounts are better than yours. The first one, they often have more intelligence on where to go for the best pictures. So they might know the best locations, the best events to go to, or the local restaurants to attend. And then of course, there's the second reason, and that's because they know how to take a good picture, as well as using apps like Lightroom to edit and improve their picture. This improves the overall production value of that piece of media and therefore increases engagement. LMI, or otherwise known as labour market information, is exactly the same. Those that are successful in their career know where the opportunities are and they understand how to edit their approach so that they look like the best candidate in a pool of many different people, and they're able to adjust themselves to the forces of the market. Now, this might seem like a straightforward analogy between social media and labour market information. Some people would argue that labour market information is much more complex than this. They would be right to, but really you need to know that the two things, where the jobs are and how to position yourself in the labour market. Now, if I think as a careers practitioner, one of the reasons why people aren't happy in their careers in their 30s or their 40s is because they seem to have little control in their career. And one thing that you can do to have more control in your career, as well as a competitive edge over the labour market, is by understanding labour market information and intelligence. So often referred to as LMI, or otherwise known as labour market information, there is two types: labour market information and labour market intelligence. It's not the most exciting topic, but if you understand LMI and use it properly, then you'll improve your chances in the jobs market and you're likely to have a more secure career. Now, labour market information comes from a wide range of sources. So you can get information on general employment trends, so levels of employment, the salary, the information on unemployment rates, for example, the skill gaps within a particular industry, and future demand. Now, you can also get data on the structure of the labour market. So, for example, what the jobs are in that particular sector, how many there are, and in which occupational sectors do those jobs exist. My third point, information on the way in which the labour market functions. So how people get into jobs and move between employers. And perhaps the best example is the gig economy, where people have been working in a much more freelance type of way between different employers, delivery drivers being one. The fourth point, data, focusing on equality and diversity. So which individuals are employed in different sectors, and at what levels, for example. And this might include things like information on equal opportunities. So you might find that in the engineering sector, there's a drive to recruit more female candidates. Now, in the context of career guidance, that being the work that a careers advisor will do with you in your appointment, further distinctions can be made, but you don't really need to worry about this because that's the job of the careers professional. They're there to help you understand labour market information in the context of your career choices. So you don't need to be a labour market expert in this case, but just be aware of that information and know how to access it. So why is labour market information, advice and guidance important? LMI can tell you the availability of particular jobs within a specific sector or geographical areas and the levels of existing competition. So what would happen if I do this course? Will I be able to get a job in a specific occupation within 15 miles of my home? Now, this sort of intelligence makes a big difference to how you plan for your career. Labour market information can help you to understand what rewards are on offer. So effectively, how much you'll get paid as an employee, as well as an understanding of the scope of the salary. Not everybody's motivated by money, but it's a really important factor when it comes to making a career decision. Labour market information will also help you to understand the entry route. So how do you get into a particular job? What are the qualifications and the expectations of your experience? Effectively, labour market information helps you to understand the relative value of particular qualifications, experience, so it will help you to understand or to answer questions like, which courses do I need to do in order to get into a particular job? Where is it best to do that course? And how much will your experience count? Labour market information that is most likely to be useful to you will focus on the supply and demand in various sectors, and that could be regional employment trends or national. Now, labour market information isn't the most exciting subject, but let's look at some of the examples of labour market information in the media. So, a national shortage of lorry drivers leads to supply issues with fuel and food. And then, of course, this one recently, UK heading towards digital skills shortage disaster. Now, there's a story behind each headline, and you have to dig a little deeper so that you can find the facts that will support your career decision making. This is labour market information. So yes, there is a shortage of lorry drivers. Why? Because there have been more people retiring than there are people taking tests. Testing was placed on hold during the first part of the pandemic. The other reason is immigration. We can see fewer people are coming to work in the UK, both because of Brexit and of course the pandemic. But other factors that are not often mentioned add to the picture. So in the last 5 years, we've been talking about autonomous vehicles, including lorries. So why would you train as a lorry driver if you thought your job was about to be automated? Nobody ever mentions this in the media. To attract more people into driving lorries, the pay has been increased. So a full-time lorry driver could earn around £50,000 per year. And they've adjusted the training so it takes less time to become qualified. Now, the government will introduce a visa to allow people from outside of the UK to come in and work in the UK as a lorry driver. The success of this remains to be seen. But can you see how labour market information is starting to paint the story of a particular job occupation? And this applies for all industry sectors. Once you have labour market information, you can use this information to then make informed career decisions. Let's look at the digital skills disaster article from March 2021. Now, this highlights some of the reasons why this might be the case. So the number of students taking IT at GCSE levels has dropped by 40% since 2015. So that's not going to fix itself overnight. If this IT problem continues to exist, it will only be a question of time before the government introduces a mandatory framework for learning IT, or even making GCSE IT compulsory. But in the meantime, it means there is an opportunity for you to exploit because of the digital skills. So this summer, for example, 31,000 software developer roles remain unfilled. Not only does this mean there are jobs available in software development, but you as a software developer or a new entry into that industry would be spoilt for choice as to where you would work. The salaries are going to be higher, and the terms are going to be more in your favour. Where do you start in understanding labour market information? The first thing to do is to talk to your teachers and your careers advisor about labour market information and how it might relate to your career choices. Now, find out as much as you can from internal sources of information at your school or your college, and try to leverage your work experience as well as your personal network. Now, in your learning, your teacher should be relating your learning to the world of work. So let's say your teacher is teaching you design skills using software, so CAD. Your teacher should be relating this to how this transpires into the workplace. And if they don't, then ask them to provide examples of how it does. Another way in which you can get hold of LMI is by asking your careers advisor. Simply say, hey, I'm interested in careers in IT. Can you tell me a bit more about the labour market and where I can find out more information? That's a great starting point for your careers guidance appointment. Ask them what they know about the labour market. They're trained in handling labour market information and really condensing it so it's easier for you to understand. The other thing that you could do is prepare some questions for people who work in your sector and try to get some answers. So if you are speaking to somebody at an event or during your work experience, you might ask the following questions. What recruitment challenges face the sector? Now, the answer to this question will give you a valuable insight that will make a huge difference to not just your career decision, but how you might approach future employers. So don't take just one person's word for it. Ask multiple people from the sector in order to build a picture of what the challenges are from within. Other questions might include, what does the future look like for the sector? Try to get as many different opinions as possible. Remember, they're just opinions. Or another popular question, what are the trends within the sector? Now, you can use Google to help you learn about labour market information by simply Googling, but nothing really beats talking to people directly. The more people you talk to, the better it will be for your career. If you are using Google, a simple search like labour market needs in the UK will reveal some headlines which you can then go on it and explore. If you're interested in working abroad in the future, simply change the UK for your desired destination. Scroll through Google to get a feel for all of the latest news that you find. You will no doubt come across a page linking back to prospects prospects. Now, I've previously referenced prospects as a resource in past videos. It's a great starting point for you to look at any sector area. Labour market information is complex, and this is just a starting point for you. So there's no expectation that you will know it all now. Just know that labour market information is an important part of your career planning. And whenever you come to make a decision, you need to research labour market information. Now, there are people around that you can get help from. I, for one, will answer any of your questions on labour market information. And if you drop us a message on our socials, we might even do some specific videos around your questions. Secondly, there are websites and news articles that can help you to understand the labour market. I'll drop a number of links below where you can find really good information to help you. In today's video, we've covered everything that you need to know to start and appreciate labour market information. I hope you found this video useful. If you have any questions for us, then you can find us on our socials. Good luck, let us know how you get on. Any questions, drop us a line, and I'll see you soon.